made by Disney and stuff and done by Disney. It's a Disney movie. It is. Why, hello there YouTube, and welcome back to the 80s week. So, today's episode I am reviewing the 1980 probably forgotten classic, The Watcher in the Woods, which is based on the 1976 novel by Florence Engel Randall and is directed by John Ho, starring Bette Davis, Carroll Baker, David McCallum, Lynn-Holly and Kyle Richards. So this, like I said, is a supernatural horror film where two Americans, Helen and Phil Curse, take their daughters to a remote house, a manor in England, which is owned by Mrs. Islewood, played by Bette Davis, and there's something a bit off with her, but she allows them to be tenants in her manor, and of course strange supernatural things begin to occur as mysteries and shadows of the past involving Mrs. Elwood's daughter Karen, who disappeared 30 years ago, and then the eldest sister, Jan, ends up looking into this and finding out things about this missing girl Karen, and of course also the youngest daughter Ellie, played by Kyle Richards, from Halloween, Lindsay Wallace, and she would reprise her role in the later Halloween movies. Also is having some strange connections as well with this entity. And then it is revealed in the film that Karen was part of an initiation in a chapel where she was blindfolded by these group of friends, and there was an accident, a fire broke out, and of course, they find the only way to put Karen's ghost at rest is to complete the ritual and finish what they started 30 years ago, but it ends up bringing Karen back, and Mrs. Elwood is happy to see her daughter home. So that's the story. What did I like about this film? Well, I watched this once when I was very little, and I remember it creeping the hell out of me, it being a very creepy film. And then I rewatched it very recently to do this review because I couldn't remember much of it. And I was like, this is a Disney movie? Because it is. It's a Disney film. It was just, made by Disney and stuff and done by Disney. It's a Disney movie. It is. See, back in the 80s, Disney were going through a bit of a dark, gloomy phase with films like this, The Watcher in the Woods and The Black Cauldron and other things. Just before the Renaissance era, at the end of that decade with The Little Mermaid. But this is actually a Disney film, and it's PG. It's a PG film, so parental guidance. And this isn't the first film we're going to be reviewing that's a PG rating this week. We do have another one coming later on this week. This I don't think has ever had a re-release. I do remember I watched it on VHS once, and you can see the quality of picture hasn't been touched up or remastered or anything like that. You can still see the old, real footage of it where it's, briefly flickering. But I think that's what adds to the movie, really. Sometimes modern films are made like that intentionally for artistic feel. But it isn't. I also liked the young actress they had for Jen, Lynn-Holly, who was our main protagonist in this film, and we also see Bette Davis, who is again an actress from old times. She was in like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and some others I can't think off the top of my head. But she was like old at that time. She was like 72 years old, and she looked quite unnerving, but was meaning good. She was like a good, like sort of, you could tell that she'd been, she suffered loss and everything, and that with her character. This film's about 84 minutes long, so again, it's not a long film at all. It runs under the hour and a half mark. And this film, like I say, it's not available on Disney Plus. In fact, I only just managed to find it on Prime for a fee, which I paid and watched. And yeah, I'm glad I watched it again. Yeah, I mean, it took me 25 years to actually watch this film again, but I thought I need to look for horror movies from the 80s that I've either not seen in a long time, not seen at all, or underrated. And I feel this one is a forgotten gem from the Disney vault. Yeah, I'd say it's a classic. You see, with it being a short film, it's not as slow paced. Things soon do get gloomy and supernatural and creepy and ghostly and that. Thinking, what is watching them in the woods? Like, is it the ghost of Karen? But yeah, this has a good score as well, a good unnerving, spooky score. But yeah, why this has become forgotten, why Disney haven't ever give it a re-release or like done it up or anything, because I think it does deserve a bit more love. So yeah, what am I gonna do with this? Rate it. There was some human drama in there, actual drama in this film. And it's hard to believe that Disney made this film. It's quite spooky. But like I say, PG spooky. In fact, a lot of kids probably today would be desensitized to this kind of stuff now. But for me as a 90s kid, it did creep me out a bit, but not anymore. I've seen far worse since. I will give The Watcher in the Woods... I'll give it 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5 for The Watcher in the Woods. So there you go. There is my review for today. Have you seen this one? Have you even heard of it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell and to share with your friends. And I will be back tomorrow with another 80s horror for you. So yeah, I'll see you then, and until next time, don't have nightmares.